When we play video games today, this is how it looks, right? Big screen TVs, controllers with 37,000 buttons on them. But it wasn't always this way. When I was a kid in the early days of computers and controllers and hell, color TVs, this is what it looked like. But you know, everything old is new again, and as we close out 2016, we have this, the NES Classic Edition. It's so cool. Now, the original Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, wasn't the first video game console. You know, we all remember the Atari, right? But as I was making my way through elementary school, it definitely was the coolest thing to have. You'd get off the bus, you'd run home, and you'd fire up Super Mario Brothers or Duck Hunt first thing. Of course, it was my favorite Top Gun, minus a shirtless Tom Cruise, of course. Back then, games came on a single cartridge. We didn't download anything, and if it quit working, you had to blow on the inside of it to get the dust out. It was crazy. And the controllers were really boxy too, and they, of course, were not wireless. And we maybe had 2 buttons, maybe 2. So the Nintendo console eventually died off, of course, in Super NES, and all that gave way to things like the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Xbox One and the PlayStation, what are we up to, 6, 7 now? So this is the NES Classic. It's actually been on sale for a while now, $59. And because it's so cheap, you haven't been able to get one. They've been sold out forever. They've sold tens of thousands of these already. So the console's a lot smaller now. It still has the familiar buttons, power and reset. It still has the little cartridge flap, but it doesn't open, and I don't know what you put in there anyway. It's powered by micro USB, which means any charger you have laying around will get it done, and I actually power mine through the TV. You plug it into the TV with HDMI, so this is pretty modern day tech with a 1980s console. Super awesome. So hit the power button on the box and you suddenly have almost 30 games that are pre-installed. And you're gonna recognize most of these. You've got Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and actually the original Mario Brothers. You've got Castlevania, you've got Galaga, you've got Donkey Kong, you've got Punch-Out!, though Punch-Out! Comes with Mr. Dream, no more Mike Tyson, sorry. And as I was kind of making my way through elementary school, I mean, this is what all the cool kids played, right? We went home after school, we played Nintendo. Guess what? I never actually had a Nintendo. Hey, super important question. Why did you never buy us a Nintendo as kids?
Because we had a computer.
All right, fine. So there are a few things you need to know if you actually do manage to get your hands on an NES Classic. Number one, you can save the game state while the power's still on. All you have to do is hit the reset button and it'll let you go right back to where you were. Number two, be sure to check out the display settings. So you can do standard 4:3 or you can opt for pixel perfect. But what's really fun is when you put in the little CRT filter they put on there, which makes it look like it did back in the 80s. This is what we had to deal with back then, kids. It was not good. Speaking of kids, mine kind of didn't know what to make out of all this. Maybe, what do you think about playing games like on a console?
It's fun. I like it.
Is it weird with all the mushrooms?
Yes.
And finally, the cord is ridiculously short. That's all you get. I picked up an extension on Amazon for about $10, and there are also a couple Bluetooth options out there, so you're gonna want to play around with that and get whatever makes sense to you. So the NES Classic is a fun little play. I'm not gonna sit here and do it all day like you might do some modern games. For me, the price is just about right at $59. I'll pay that for this sort of nostalgia. But you might be willing to pay a little bit more, say 4 or 5 times as much, to go ahead and get it today if you're a Nintendo super fan. So it's been kind of fun to play the games that I played when I was their age with my kids today. It's really cool, actually.